How's everybody today? Look, it's really great to see everybody here today. I kind of missed you all for the last little bit, but glad to be here too. And we're also very excited and pleased to have 17 players who signed with us today to join the 8 players who came here at mid-semester, 4 of which practiced with us for, I think, 4 days before when we were getting ready for the Clemson game. So this class is really the culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people, especially our coaches who this has been, really difficult to play the games that we played, the championship, the SEC championship, the playoff game. Honored to do all these things and play in a national championship game, but it certainly pushed our coaches to do the great job that they did to try to put together a really solid recruiting class. So really pleased with the hard work that they did. There's a lot of people in the university community who really contributes to building the team that we have and spends a lot of time, helping develop relationships with these young people when they're here visiting. And it starts with our administration. Dr. Witt has always chipped in and helped us whenever we needed. Dr. Bell spoke every weekend at every recruiting visit we had. Bill Battle was always there to speak and support, and Jeremy Castile, who's sort of a team chaplain for us, always does a great job. John Devers, Dean Carr, lots of people and the professors in the university community every Saturday come over and do, academic interviews with these people. Every Saturday, A-Day, our fans who create a tremendous atmosphere for all these guys to see the kind of spirit and passion that we have at the University of Alabama. I think there's a special thanks that goes to every one of these groups, and I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but we certainly appreciate it. I think it reflects in a positive way on the great team of people that we have here at Alabama that really try to create opportunities for young people to be more successful in life, and that's sort of the goal of our program. I think that this class sort of reflects some of the needs that we had. I was really pleased that we got 5 quality offensive linemen in this class. I think we got 2 good runners, which certainly we need. Some young talent at that position in terms of the number of players that we have at that position. We got a couple tight ends. Really pleased with the quarterback prospect that we had. We saw him for 4 days in practice, Jalen Hurts. So we'd have liked to add another receiver, to this group. That was our goal. Sometimes you don't meet your goals in terms of numbers, but we're certainly pleased with the 2 players that we're able to get at that position. Defensively, I think we got a great group of linebackers, really good cover people in the secondary. Got some really good down guys with some good size. Probably would have, liked to got a great, maybe edge rusher or a defensive end type of guy to add to that group. But again, you don't get everything that you want all the time, but really pleased with the players, that we got. I always, seem to answer questions about rankings and ratings, and I say this every year. Every coach stands up and says, we got the players that we wanted, we got the players that we needed, we had a great recruiting class, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's more important to get players who are committed to doing the things they need to do to develop in your program and to grow and develop in the program, personally, academically, and athletically, because these guys have never played college football before. And that's something that they're going to have to grow and develop into. I think it's a much better barometer to look back a year from now or look back at last year's class that happened a year ago, however you want to say it. How did they develop? How many guys played? What did they contribute? And those types of things. And even when you do that, just like last year, we had about a dozen guys play. We had 3 guys that you could really call starters. Some guys had a pretty significant role on the team, and then the other dozen guys got redshirted. So even in that group, there's a lot of good players that are going to develop into being outstanding players for the University of Alabama. So until it's all said and done, until these guys sort of grow and develop, you really don't know what kind of class you had. When we recruit a junior college guy, it's usually because we think he's going to be good enough to play because they need to play, so then we need for him to play. And so he has a lot of athleticism to him as well and can play with power. Scott Lashley, to me, great size, was a more difficult evaluation because such a good athlete. He played tight end as a junior, so you never really saw him playing offensive line. And you could see he was very physical, great size, could block. You could see his athleticism, but just wondering, I don't know if this guy's a tight end for sure. And then this year when he played tackle, he was really dominating. So he's got great size, great reach. He's very athletic, and I think, maybe potentially has a chance to really be a good player.
Back over here with Aaron. You mentioned the guys that added to your running back depth. Are you now pleased there, or will you go looking for a graduate transfer maybe at running back?
Well, I think we're always looking for good players, and I'm pleased, but we're always looking for good players, and it seems like in these graduate transfer guys, just looking at the history of it, it seems like there's more skill guys, receivers, running backs, maybe that do those types of things. So we'll probably be on the lookout for the next best player we can find, whether it's someone who didn't sign on signing date or someone who's out there looking for an opportunity.
Back over here with John Talty.
Gray shirt offers seem to get a lot of media attention. I'm just interested in, at what point during the recruiting process do you try to broach that subject, and just what do you kind of see as the benefits of a gray shirt offer for recruits?
Right. Well, I think that I view that as a real positive because we want the player. We feel that the player is probably going to get redshirted based on where he is in his development, whether he needs to get bigger and stronger or whatever. You have a player that is here now as a mid-year guy that we did that to a year ago, who has gained weight and got bigger and got stronger, and he's going to have a better chance to be successful now. So when we do that, we usually do it early in the process so guys have a chance to weigh any other opportunity that they might want to look at. But it does give them an opportunity to come to Alabama, and it does give them a chance to develop. And in most cases, the guys that we do that with, that's really our goal and our intention for them. We recruit them. We want them to come here. We just think it would help their development if they matured a little bit before they enrolled.
Back in the middle with Alex.
You got the 2 5-star linebackers from in-state. How important was it to get those guys, the top 2 players in the state, just from a perspective, perception perspective?
Well, we don't worry about perception. We like getting good players who can go out on the field and play good. Perception doesn't win any games for us around here, but good players do. And we were excited about both those guys. We thought they were outstanding players, very athletic guys. Both of them can run. They're instinctive players. And the goal for us is going to be to teach those guys as much as we can, as soon as we can, because this is a position where we've had lots of guys in the past contribute as freshmen. Rolando McClain did, Dante Hightower did, C.J. Mosley did, I think Nico Johnson did. So, and we didn't have a lot of depth at that position this year, so I think how quickly these guys can learn and grow and develop at that position is going to be important, because I think they both have the kind of athletic ability and critical factors at that position that we're looking for.
2 more, Michael and Joe. Start with Michael.
How do you guys approach a situation when you guys have a mid-year or not after the season, a coaching change? You lose somebody who's recruited a guy for maybe 2 years already, then he takes another job. How do you handle that? How do you move people around to handle that?
Well, I think that recruiting is a lot about relationships. I think there's 2 sides to that. It's sort of hard to change hats when you're developing a relationship, and then all of a sudden you've built this relationship relative to the school that you're at, and then you go someplace else and you're trying to take that relationship and change some of those things to develop a different kind of relationship. But at the same time, you know, the teams that recruit the players, that's their job. You know, that's what they're supposed to do. Sometimes those relationships end up working for them, and you know, sometimes they don't. But I don't think anybody thinks anything negative of someone in terms of the way they handled the situation of moving to another position. We just respect. They did a good job for us, so we certainly respect the fact that they'll do a good job where they are now, and that's called competition.
Last one in the back. Good.
Hey, Coach. The two wide receivers, T.J. Simmons and Trayvon Diggs, I'm just wondering what stood out to you about them.
Well, TJ is a guy that has really good size. He's here in the state. He's been very productive in a very successful program. He's a mid-year guy, and you know, he's probably going to be an outside guy for us, and we're excited that he's in our program. And you know, Trayvon Diggs is a very, very talented guy. He's got size and is very, very athletic, got speed, really good hands. So I think that he was one of those guys that we thought could be potentially be a really, really good player if he can develop and do the things he needs to do to continue to improve.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.